at the title of today's video going, dude, are you serious right now? Yes, I am deadly serious. Now, I had to go all the way overseas to find this one. Not literally, of course, but I actually found this on an overseas website. And it looks like this is over in South America somewhere from what I can ascertain, because it's actually in Spanish, right? Where do I even begin with this? So I'm just going to frame this before I start as saying the reason that I'm sharing this particular article today is because we always hear this line from feminists that everything's sexist, everything's patriarchy. Whenever a woman is hurt, it must be because of sexist violence. And today is no different, even when it's not. I'll bring up this article here. Una feminista, and I say because I can't pronounce the rest because I don't speak Spanish. Fortunately, however, we have a translator with us today. It's called Google Translate. A feminist dismembers another feminist, and a progressive media calls it sexist violence. Figure that one out, huh? It's Peru, actually. Peru has been shocked by a brutal crime of which the young feminist Vi0l3nce Rodriguez was the victim, who appeared in August 2016, and for which there have been numerous mobilizations. On February 14th, Andrea Aguirre Concha, I think it is, I'm sorry if it's wrong, whose photo heads this post. So this is the purple-haired feminazi that dismembered the other one, right? Get a load of that head. Thank you to Shane for that super chat. I appreciate that, man. Here we go. And her ex-partner, Kevin Villanueva, were arrested in connection with this crime. Aguirre confessed to having dismembered the young feminist and having hidden her remains in various places. One of the most macabre details of this horrendous crime is that the murderer kept the skull of the murdered woman in her home for more than 3 years in a box, right? This is the one that dismembered her, pulled her body apart, put the body parts in different places, and kept her head in a box for those years. See the purple hair? Now, the reason I'm wearing red today when I normally don't is because this is the red flag that I keep talking about. And that purple hair is also a red flag. Stay away from people with purple hair, especially if they hold feminist views, because this is what can happen to you. Here we go. As reported last Wednesday by the Andean agency, the Institute of Legal Medicine and Forensic Sciences of the Public Ministry of Peru has confirmed that the remains found in Aguirre's house are those of Vi0l3nce Rodriguez. The autopsy performed on the remains of the murdered woman has revealed that she was hit with a blunt object and with great violence to the face. A feminist being violent? That never happens. A fact that refutes Aguirre's statement, which affirmed that Vi0l3nce Rodriguez had died from a fall, and that shows the murder was perpetrated with great sadism. No, there we go. It was perpetrated with great sadism. It is speculated that the possible motive for the crime would be jealousy. A jealous feminist? What a surprise! What a shock! The motive for almost all female violence, jealousy. Here we go. The killer is a feminist and a left-wing extremist. Feminist and a left-wing extremist. What is striking about this case is that the murderer and ripper, Andrea Aguirre, I'm not sure how that's pronounced, is a feminist and far less left activist. An activist, no less. Stay away from any woman who says she's an activist. Now, sadly, most young girls coming out of school nowadays are activists. Some of them aren't, but most of them are. And I'm seeing that this is a big problem. It's a big problem because they're mostly left-wing and they're mostly activists. So is this chick. And this is, I don't even know where to go with this one. But let's continue on, because I could just sit dumbfounded on the absurdity of what's going on for hours. This is demonstrated by her Facebook profile, in which she shows various ultra-left pages, some of them communist, and also the feminist page of the International Strike for Women in Peru. This data has been disseminated on social networks and by some Peruvian websites such as Lima Gris and Turquesa News. However, the mainstream media have hidden this information. Of course they have, because the mainstream media is full of feminists and leftists, the very same people that would commit these kind of acts. And shout out to Stacey J with $10. Sydney caught Coach's live stream. Now you. Shout out to my Aussie brothers. I didn't even catch Coach's live stream. God damn it, YouTube, messing with my notifications. Specifically, the feminist group Not One Less has labeled as miserable those who have disseminated this information, which, as we've already seen, can be verified on the murderer's own Facebook profile. So this feminist page called Not One Less, they've labeled anyone who's exposed the truth as miserable. Anyone who's actually gone to this girl's Facebook page, disseminated the information, exposed the reality of what's going on, and the kind of ideologies that this psychopath subscribes to, apparently all of them, they're just miserable. Because why would someone who's not miserable expose a psychotic feminist that goes and dismembers other feminists? I would have thought that if this feminist Facebook page really cared about women, then they would be outraged that one of their fellow women had been dismembered. But no. Ideology and politics is more important than the life of any woman. And we've seen this time and time again. This is the ideological possession of leftist feminists. Anyway, let's continue. But so the denial is absurd, because that a feminist is a murderer does not mean that all of them are. I agree with that. But it responds to the tendency of that movement to criminalize entire social groups for what a tiny minority does. Yeah, the the feminist movement does do that. It criminalizes its entire social groups for what a tiny minority does. And we hear this with the announcement of a rape culture. A couple of guys, did something heinous, and I am against rape of any kind. I'm totally against it. Nobody should do it. Right? I oppose it categorically, regardless of who's the perpetrator, regardless of who's the victim. I'm against it. But, we as men are getting accused as a group of being that which I've just mentioned. For example, in December, the group Vi0l3nce published its version of the lyrics of the song The Rapist Is You, labeling students, teachers, and authorities as rapists. There we go. It's exactly what I just said. Exactly what I just said. The newspaper Público says that Solsiret was killed by sexist violence. Sorry, what? Unless a feminist hates other women, I just don't understand how this could possibly, in any way, shape, or form, be misconstrued as sexist violence. It's just totally illogical in every way imaginable. In Europe, the media silence on the ideology of the murderer has been total. They've been completely silent on the fact that she was a far-left extremist and a radical feminist. The media has been silent. The media are complicit in the continuing perpetration of these types of crimes by not calling it out. The very thing that they say that men should do, call out violence when you see it. Oh yeah, but not if it's a feminist that does it. Don't call out feminism. Don't call out far-left extremism, because that's misogyny of some sort. Am I right? Leftist media such as El País, El Diario.es, and Público have reported on this case without revealing the ideology of the murderer.
The most grotesque case due to its degree of manipulation has been that of the newspaper owned by Vi0l3nce. I hope I got that right. I don't think I did. And it is that Publico has even assured that Sulciret Rodriguez was murdered by sexist violence, despite the fact that the murderer and dismemberment is a female feminist. In an informative treatment radically different from the one they've done with the crime perpetrated in Peru, El País, Publico, and El Diario.es, they did report the perpetrated 2 attacks in the German city of Hanau last Wednesday, in which 9 people were killed. So there we go. That is the photo of the woman who is being protected by the mainstream media. And, you know, they don't want to expose the fact that she was a feminist because they are feminists themselves. And if they expose that she was a feminist, then, you know, people just might start to realize how hateful, how disgusting, and how ridiculous feminism has become. Anyway, guys, I hope that this was interesting for you. I hope this was informative. And I hope you take my advice that you should never marry a feminist. Ever. Avoid. Abort mission. Red flag. Anyway, guys, I'm out of here for now. I'm going to go get a nap before work. I've got a shift tonight. So I will catch you guys later. If you want to donate, feel free to head on over to PayPal in the description below. Also, check out the sponsor of today's video, Land of the Losers. Really good book. I can't recommend it enough. I'm not a reader, but I couldn't put it down when I actually got a hold of it. And I basically just kept reading whenever I wasn't busy with something else until such time I finished it. It was a really, really good read. Story of a simp to successful woman, gentleman, and his journey. Anyway, guys, I'll catch you in the next video. I hope you are all staying safe out there. I appreciate you all. Until the next time, peace.